Yep.
Right. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll get started with Coach Chryst, and we'll get started with questions for him with Jeff.
Paul, disappointed you didn't have a big opening statement for us today.
The real shocker, wasn't it?
Normally, in a normal year, if you guys got a lot of healthy bodies, is today a day where you would scrimmage those guys and look at a lot of different things? I mean, it was kind of an unusual practice for a Saturday spring.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, and kind of where we're at with it, and really, and we'll kind of gauge it and see if next week we can get one in. But thought we still get some work done today, and hopefully we I'm anxious to look at the film. I know we got some stuff done out of it, and I think every time you go out there, it's an opportunity to get better if you take advantage of it. But yeah, I think you'd like to say the Saturdays can be, big, maybe even spend a little bit more time out there, but obviously not today.
Jesse?
Paul, one of the guys who moved positions this offseason was Preston Zachman. What did you like about him going from linebacker to safety, and what kind of skill set can he add in the secondary?
Yeah, when we were recruiting Preston, knew certainly was one of those, played quarterback and ran well and showed toughness, and honestly, guys like that, you're not quite sure what position they're going to be at. And then kind of just last year and what he did, kind of liked the fact that he likes football, and thought we could get, a good number of reps with him at safety. And I think that certainly liked the way that he started spring. And I think that, that's one that as you go through spring and, you keep adding, different defenses and whatnot, I think he's done a pretty good job of staying up with it. But, you're just looking at a guy that's a good, in our opinion, is a good football player, and trying to find what might be the best fit for him. And I think it's a guy that I think Preston's done a good job of trying to take advantage of the reps that he's getting.
Colton?
Paul, when we talked to Graham Mertz a couple of weeks ago, he said that his big thing that he was focused on was his footwork this spring. What do you think he needed to do in that area, and how do you think he's done that throughout the spring here? Yeah,
I think you're always, working on footwork, and then I think it's specific to each guy. And what I appreciate about Graham is that he wants to be coached and is taking it and trying to apply it, and seeing progress with it. And really it's not just Graham, all the quarterbacks, I think it's a little bit different, but you want to be, how can I be efficient with what we're doing in the run game? Can I get the ball to the quarterback or the running back as deep as I can, as efficiently as you can? And certainly in the passing game, how does it time up with what you're trying to do? And I think he, along with the other guys, are trying to, take it to heart. And I am seeing them work on it, and hopefully starting to see some improvement.
Steve?
Just wondering, obviously your defense last year was ranked high in virtually every category. I was just wondering where you thought the defense could improve this year, where you would like to see the defense improve, and what's the encouragement you've seen this spring? What's encouraged you about that side of the way the team's performed on that side of the ball?
Well, it's, each year's a new opportunity, and, we've, there's guys that played a lot of football, up front, and Isaiah Loudermilk and, Garrett Rand. And so, it's an opportunity for others to step up. And so I think, that you're looking at that. And then in the, secondary, we've got quite a bit of an experience back, but I think it's also kind of how they continue to grow. And, like, for instance, Scott Nelson, has played a lot of football, but it's been fun to see him, I think, truly feeling healthy and feeling confident, not only in what he's doing, but I think how he's doing it. And the same can be said with, Fayon and Caesar, and yet you love seeing the development of, of the younger defensive backs, and Leo and Jack have played a lot of football, but how do they keep growing and developing? And I'm seeing that, so the defense is going to look different. Noah Burks has played a lot of football, and yet I think, he missed the first part of spring ball, but, chance for him to work on something, and just because they're back doesn't mean, they don't want to be, and we don't want them to be the same person, and so kind of anxious to see kind of how this defense comes together. And, spring's the start of it. It's the first spring for Nick Herbig, and, it's the first spring for really a number of our guys. And, it's early, but obviously appreciate and like what they've started, certainly to this point.
George?
Hey, Paul. So going to deviate a little bit from spring ball. I have an NFL draft question for you. Obviously, with it coming up on Thursday, Cole Van Landen is a guy that could be the next big lineman out of Wisconsin. What had Cole meant to you in his time in Wisconsin, and what do you hope that NFL teams will see in him?
Cole's played a lot of football, and good football for us. So that, you're obviously very grateful and appreciative of that. And, for all these guys, you just want them to be to where they can get in a good position. One, get an opportunity, and then be at a place that they have a genuine opportunity. And, Cole's a guy that, football is important to him. And, I think he's a smart football player and understands a lot about the game. And so, for a number of these guys, you're just excited for him, one, to get the opportunity, and then there's a curiosity to where that's at. But Cole's meant a lot to us, and like I said, played a lot of football for us, and played at a high level. And it's hard to believe you get so wrapped up in spring ball, but it is right around the corner, and hopefully we got a number of guys that can land a spot.
Back to Jesse.
Paul, obviously Gary Brown is still trying to evaluate what he has at running back since he's only been here for a few weeks. How do you and him evaluate what you have this spring with so many injuries? Or do you look at it more like we kind of put a pause on it and hope to learn more in the fall with some of the guys that could be in the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, that's what, if you say who are you looking at, and I thought Ship was having a heck of a spring, and, was taking the coaching and applying it, and saw him getting significantly better. And, kind of our plan going in this spring was, with John, Chanel, and kind of thought he has some ability to run the football, and is a guy that's really probably played the most football and has the most game experience, and really liked what he did, particularly in the passing game, and in protections. And then a lot of the guys that you're hoping to get, those reps in spring, and what a great time for them. Just we're not able to take advantage of it, with Jalen and Julius and Isaac. And so can't do anything about it now. And obviously we got meeting time with them, and you can do some field work with them, but it's, it's unfortunate because spring is such a great opportunity for them. And, Gary certainly doesn't need the practice and coaching. He's a heck of a football coach, and yet, you try to make the best of the situation you're in, and he's doing a good job of trying to focus on kind of the meeting part of it for many of them. And, it's where we're at. And so you try to find a way to make the most of it.
All right, got time for a couple more. We'll go back to Colton.
Paul, we've seen Muma make a couple good plays from the inside linebacker position. Obviously, I know he dealt with a lot of health stuff last season, but what have you seen from him here this spring that's got you excited?
Yeah, I think it's the fact that he's going and playing. And I think that, by being available to play, and I think also he's, got enough experience, he's trusting it. And you're able to see him play because he's out there. And it has been good. And it's also, the reps that he gets on special teams are really important, because there's a guy that we think is, very capable of helping this team in a number of different ways. And so, I think Muma's a guy that has been able to take advantage of this spring, and I think he's better for it.
We'll wrap things up for Coach with one more from Jeff.
Well, coaches always talk about the kids going from flashing to being more consistent. I'm just curious where Devin Chandler is on that scale, because he made some plays today, but we don't get to see every practice. So how consistent has he been this spring?
You know, he's working on it, and I think, you know, there was a stretch where he was bouncing around in a lot of positions, and I think you know, while you're doing that, you know, sometimes you can lose the details within some of the specifics, and now kind of back at how we want to finish spring, it's kind of honing them back into a specific position with the receiver group. But I think that when you do kind of bounce them around, I think they get a better understanding of the whole picture. So there's a little bit of the, you know, the whole teaching that involves with it. And so, you know, early in last year it was just, how can you kind of get them started? And this spring, you know, has done some good things, and again has been available. And I think because of that has been able to do a lot. And it's been, I think, really important as he finishes up this spring and just kind of playing the one specific spot that you start to really see a lot of those details that in the end can make a difference. But I've loved the way that he's approached the spring, and it's been good for him, and hopefully really valuable for him.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.